Something funny's happening around here. What in tarnation's going on here? Where's my dog? Where's my Pooh Bear? I'll tear this thing apart with my bare hands!
The subtle acting style of Royal Dano.
I've been hornswoggled.
That is the same actor that played Gramps in House 2, the second story.
Son of a bitch. I knew that voice was, I 100% knew that voice was familiar. I was, who was the cop too? He was somebody.
No, we'll get to that.
Okay. But goddamn, that's great. All right. Good to know. What a great start to this episode.
Is that the clip you wanted pulled?
Well, it was funnily enough, that's the one I was talking to Kitty about when she woke up. I was talking about what great acting chops this guy had.
The plan was to put the song in there because the song's kind of a banger.
That song rocks.
But then I got to deal with copyright claims.
Oh, what? I don't think it's, if you don't get paid for something, I think you can do whatever you want.
You can, but like it just feels like a hassle down the line to get those emails and be like if we ever start doing the stuff on YouTube, that those videos will be. When I put the short part of Go Go Godzilla in there, I got like 3 emails from 3 different places, and I'm like, I don't make any money off this.
Did you really?
Why are you bothering me with? I know that there's a copyright on it.
That's fucking funny.
So I avoided it.
Don't those fools know we don't get paid?
You know what they've never copyright claimed? Rock Until You Drop.
Really?
Yeah. Also, I found Popcorn was on YouTube.
I still don't know what that is. You keep saying the word popcorn.
You can't just figure out it's a movie called Popcorn.
No, because that doesn't make sense. It's a song that the Muppets sing.
Muppets are coming back in February.
Really?
There's a special on ABC and Disney Plus with Seth Rogen's producing it and in it, and Sabrina Carpenter's in it. And they're starting their variety show again. And if it goes well, like in real life and in the show, they'll get to keep doing the show. I'm excited about it.
I like the Muppets. Did you see the one that came out a few years back? They redid the show.
With Jason Segel?
Maybe. No, not the movie.
The late night show they did? That was like the 90s.
No, there was one recently within the last few years.
No, I missed that one.
Okay. I watched one episode. It was all right.
Well, last week, people may recall,
no,
I ended the episode with a long discussion of the state of the Bills, and then everything went the opposite of the way I thought it was going to go.
What? I don't remember. What? I know everyone was mad about the Bills.
How do you get through the day?
Well, it's confusing. I
did a 15-minute long rant on the Bills. You sat in this room no less than like 6 days ago.
But the gist was that the coaching is bad. The whole front office is bad.
Yeah, that they wouldn't fire Sean McDermott. I knew that. There was no point talking about it. That they should fire Brandon Beane. Well, they promoted Brandon Beane, and they fired Sean McDermott. Because the thing I forgot to take into account is you can never guess what Terry Pagula is going to do.
And apparently, Terry Pagula, the owner, is such a terrible personality that he somehow turned Brandon Beane into the good guy in all of this, just by being in the same room with him.
Whoever decided to put him in front of the camera, because he hasn't talked in front of the media in 6 years for the very reasons that were laid out for the next hour. Whoever decided to put him there next to Beane is a genius, because going in, the only topic was Brandon Beane is an overrated, backstabbing devil. And coming out of it was, oh my God, please save us, Brandon Beane. You're the only level-headed person in the organization. That is the power of Terry Pagula.
My thought exactly.
I'm going to not spend that much time on this because it's up at the top of the episode. But anybody who followed the Sabres, that wasn't even a bad Terry Pagula press conference. It's just the first time the NFL people have ever heard him do one. I understood what he was saying all the time. He's not a good public speaker. That's obvious. But he's also far too honest. He wants to tell you what he's feeling and what he's thinking, and he's not good at doing it. So he'll say something like, you know, I decided after the game in Denver. It's based on the result in Denver, he says. So you take that and you put it in a clip and you go, you can't base a thing on just the emotions of one loss on a game you keep saying is a bad call. But then he spends the hour explaining, well, it's about 6 years we hit a playoff wall. We want to get further. It just felt like a time had to change. And he talked about, but they missed that because that doesn't fit in a headline. That doesn't fit in a clip. In fact, if I had a nickel for every national and local person who spent the week after the press conference saying, why didn't he just say they hit a playoff wall? He literally said they hit a playoff wall, but that's not in the clips they're listening to, and that's not in the headlines. The people that were in the room, Sal Capaccio, one of the reporters, was like, nobody in the room thought it was nearly as bad as the public and the pundits keep saying because they didn't listen to the press conference. I agreed. I think that, like, I understand Terry Pagula speak. And when he talks about the emotions in the room factoring in, he's not saying, that's the moment I said, oh, I'm firing this guy, and I never thought about it before. What he's saying is, I've seen this too many times. It is time for a change. And then he decided that on Saturday, and he fired him on Monday. So he sat on it for the weekend. And he's like, and he said in the press conference, it never wavered. So that was when he thought, fuck, I do have to do something. And he knew what it was going to be because McDermott had lost favor. And I guess, well, Brandon Beane's a snake and a psychopath. Of course and a businessman. Of course he got his hooks in him. I should have thought that through. But everyone's up in arms about how disheveled and the problems in the Bills. I'm like, there is no problem with the Bills. Nobody even cares outside of the national media people.
I heard Mike McDaniel canceled the meeting.
Yeah, but why?
Why not?
Because he's not getting the job, Pete.
How do you know? It better not be goddamn Joe Brady.
It's not going to be Joe Brady.
Better not be.
I should be careful what I say because I'm wrong about everything.
As soon as they promoted Bean, I'm like, well, I guess that means our offensive coordinator becomes our head coach, and our head coach should become our...
You can't fire a guy and then keep everything the same. That's ridiculous. They have to change the way they do things.
The Bills have accepted your challenge.
I think, depending on who wins tomorrow, because I think they'd want to interview Clint Kubiak.
I don't even know who that is.
Seattle's offensive coordinator.
Okay.
And he's the hot young offensive coordinator candidate of this cycle. And you think that they'd want to interview him. But if he wins, you can't interview him until after the Super Bowl, which is 2 more weeks.
I heard we're going to get Phillip Rivers.
You know, I started a sentence. I didn't finish the sentence.
Because
you made me explain, and then you just jumped in and didn't finish the sentence.
Because I heard different.
Depending on who wins this week. Well, no, I guess from our perspective, depending who wins last week, because we're recording this right before the games. I think they're going to want to interview Clint Kubiak. I think they're going to want to interview a couple guys from the Rams. I think they're going to want to interview Denver's passing coordinator, Davis Webb, who used to be Josh Allen's backup and is 30 years old, and people think he's ready for a head coaching job already, which would be wild. But if the Seahawks win, which I would think they might, because I haven't been that impressed by the Rams, but it's still Sam Darnold, you could lose. If they win, I wonder if they'll go with the because I think they're going to have to go offense. I really do. If they go defense again, I think you're blowing it big. Because that'll be Josh Allen's 4th different offense in 9 years. And then anytime he does well, the coordinator gets hired away and you got to start over again. So just get the offensive guy and stick with that. I wonder that Grant Udinsky from the Jaguars has everything they like. He's young. He's an up-and-coming offensive mind. He has this background that's like, makes him like an impressive man and a leader of men. It's everything that they like. So I wonder if it's like comes down to whether Seattle wins or not if they wait. Because people are putting together staffs. There's 10 openings. Everyone's putting together staffs. You're going to get the 10th best defensive coordinator of this cycle. That's rough.
It's on brand.
Yeah. Well, that was the Bills update.
On to more exciting things.
Oscar nominations came out.
Oh. Hey, I know something about that.
Oh, great. Hijack this one, too. Go ahead. Tell me what you know.
That you probably know a lot about it.
Yeah. That's why I was going to leave the segment. I want to talk to Kitty about your sugar intake because it's been a common issue. Sinners set the Oscar record for the most nominations for a movie in Oscar history. And it didn't even cheat because they added a new category, Best Casting. But it set the record by 2. So even if you take away the new category, it still would have set the record.
What's the record, 12?
The record was 14, shared by All About Eve, Titanic, and La La Land, and it is now Sinners with 16 nominations. Basically every single category it could possibly be nominated in, except Best Actors, because there was no lead actors.
My mother didn't care for Sinners.
That's okay.
Well, she'd have some choice words with the people who decide things at the Academy Rewards.
I think she'll be happy on Oscar Day, because I don't know how many it's going to win. Because it's caught in this weird place where I think one battle after another is going to win Best Picture. It feels like it has all the momentum. And that means it'll probably win Best Director. And all the music stuff, I mean, K-Pop Demon Hunters came out this year, and it's been sweeping all the awards. So there's 2 ways attacking it where I'm not sure how many things it's going to get. I think it might get Best Original Screenplay because that's what they like to give to movies that they don't give the Big Picture to. That's the Pulp Fiction Award for you're too weird to be Best Picture. But that'd be funny because I nominated it for Best Screenplay and it didn't win because it wasn't the best screenplay of the year, but that's how the Academy works. Here, it got nominated for Best Picture, Best Director for Ryan Coogler, Best Actor for Michael B. Jordan, Best Supporting Actor, Delroy Lindo, Best Supporting Actress, Wunmi Mosaku, who is the, in Loki, she's the Time Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Best Original Screenplay for Ryan Coogler, Best Casting, Best Cinematography, Best Costume Design, Best Film Editing, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Best Production Design, Best Song for I Lied to You, Best Score for Ludwig Göransson, Best Sound, and Best Visual Effects. I could see it winning cinematography maybe, and production design and score. Ludwig Göransson's already got at least one Oscar. But those other ones, it's going to be pretty tough. So I don't know. Frankenstein was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, which brings the number of movies nominated for Best Picture in horror to 8. The Exorcist, Jaws, The Silence of the Lambs, The Sixth Sense, Black Swan, The Substance, Sinners, and Frankenstein. 25% of all horror movies nominated for Best Picture in the history of the Oscars were this year.
I was about to ask that. How many, was that all this year or in time? Get Out wasn't listed? I thought
Get Out wasn't nominated for Best Picture.
Huh, that was screenplay?
It won Best Screenplay.
Okay. I thought, that's crazy. It's weird, though, that because, Exorcist and Jaws, they're not considered horror still a lot.
The Exorcist isn't considered horror?
No, that's like a Jesus movie.
All right. Other movies of note, Jurassic World Rebirth was nominated for visual effects. Ooh. The Ugly Stepsister was nominated for best makeup and hairstyling, making it the first Shudder movie to ever be nominated for anything. Ooh. And Amy Madigan was nominated for best supporting actress for Weapons, the only nomination for Weapons.
That's the thing I knew, though.
Yeah. She has a better chance than a lot of the Sinners ones, even though it got 16 nominations, I think.
Yeah, I can see that. But she was really good. Who else is better than her this year?
How many movies do you think I saw that weren't horror related? I saw Superman. Nobody was nominated.
That's too bad. That was a good one.
And the last thing I want to say before we get to this episode, I saw 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple, and it was better than the first one, and it proved my point. Danny Boyle's direction in the first one was distracting. Nia DaCosta, who directed the last Candyman movie, the remake, came in and settled it down, and the movie is fucking great.
It's almost a direct sequel to the other one, right?
It picks up right where it left off. Okay. It was filmed back to back and follows the same characters and ends with the return of Cillian Murphy setting up the third one. And it was I almost got a little emotional seeing him up there because it's been a quarter of a century and I wasn't even that big of a fan of 28 Days Later, but it's just cool to have something that much later and how big of an actor he's become and to see him back in that role. I was like, this is pretty cool. You only get a couple minutes of it, but it's like, oh, I can't wait for the third one. And I hope Nia DaCosta directs it because she did a better job than Danny Boyle did. It makes a giant difference when you just slow the camera down and let the story tell itself because the story was so excellent in both of them. And then this one, it looked great.
Is that a Jesse Plemons vehicle? Star of Begonia?
Is what a Jesse Plemons vehicle?
The new Boneyard.
What Boneyard? I said Bone Temple.
Bone Temple.
Why would...
Isn't he in it? I thought I saw him in the trailers. Who's that guy wearing the robe? He's got long hair.
That's Jack O'Connell from Sinners.
Oh, okay.
Who plays Jimmy, who believes he's the son of the devil. And it proves once again that in a zombie apocalypse, man is the biggest problem.
That seems to be the recurring thing.
This was the Ralph Fiennes movie, though. He was really good in the first movie, and he was unbelievably good in this one.
Okay.
He was unbelievably good. He's working... The thing the movie did best was that it did new things with the idea of the virus and the infection and zombies. He, in the first movie, plays a character that seems to be the only person who is still respecting life and death in a world that's dead. Like he's honoring these dead people, and he's like he's the only person that hasn't like pretty much lost any connection to what the world was, and empathy and things. In this movie, you discover that he's more than that. He's the only person who hasn't given up on the world yet. He thinks there could be a cure, and he's working kind of very timidly with one of these giant alphas who can rip your spine out on finding out if that's true. And it leads to some of the best stuff I've seen in a zombie movie since Romero is at his peak.
Okay, but they're in like a quarantine zone, right?
Yes, the whole of England.
And the rest of the world's just like moved on without him and said, well, fuck England.
Yep.
Okay. So he's still there. How does everyone else live? Since they've given up, what does that mean?
I mean, they're all living in communities with no electricity and just trying to carve out their lives, hiding from everybody, whoever's left. And he's living right in the middle of it.
Okay.
And
I want to watch this.
He's so good in this movie. And some of those moments that it leads to where he's working with this alpha, who he keeps doped up on morphine, are incredible. Like there is a longtime zombie movie fan. There's moments in this movie that I was sitting in the theater just like got chills. Like I've never seen anybody attack the movies like this. This is so fascinating.
Better than Return of the Living Dead? Because that's my new benchmark for zombie
movies.
I'd
watch Return of the Living Dead 1,000 times before I'd watch this again, but I think this is a better movie.
Bah, that's nonsense. Is trash there?
No. In fact, but there are lots of dongs.
Ooh.
Lots of dongs.
I was trying to
the
think
alpha
of
runs around with his wiener out the whole time.
Is it like Dr. Manhattan?
He's a giant guy. Yeah. And the first sign you get that maybe this doctor's right is at some point he covers himself. And I was like, he still can't talk or communicate, but I was like, there's something something's happening here that is
Shame is the first thing that people recover.
it's really fascinating. And then you get like these surprising flashbacks into what happened to this guy who was just a regular guy when the breakout happened, because he's starting to remember. It's fucking great, Pete. This movie's great.
Do the zombies have other zombies, or it's just the virus infects you and you turn?
If you get the blood in you or on you, I think.
Okay, but do they breed amongst themselves?
We learn in the first one, which is part of why the doctor believes this, the characters we're following in the first one, they discover a pregnant infected person who seems to be the alpha's property, and she gives birth to a human baby without the infection because the placenta kept it safe. So that's one of the things that leads him in this movie to be like, I really think that this can be cured, which would be...
There's a lot of interesting things going on there.
This movie's phenomenal.
All right.
I mean, it really... Because then you get the whole Jimmy stuff where they're just skinning people and being fucking insane. And the poor kid from the first movie is stuck in their cult because he can't get out of it. And it's like you get all the violence you want from that, but these zombies are a different thing in this one, and I really loved it.
All right, that's cool.
Yep. And now we can talk about something even more serious.
Yeah. I thought, speaking of trash, that she should have been in this movie at some point.
I don't know if it would have fit because there's no nudity.
She could have been. That's what was missing, was the nudity. She should have just walked by naked singing.
What we're talking about, Killer Klowns from Outer Space from 1988. How many times have you seen this movie, Pete?
A lot.
Me too.
I have seen, this was one of those movies because it's practical effects. It's great looking monsters. This is right in my wheelhouse as a kid. This was the kind of stuff I love. Like, it's been a while since I've seen it. So watching it this time was, it's as good as I remember. In fact, it's better.
This is a classic 80s gateway horror movie. Kids watch this and then they get interested in horror.
There's like actual creepy things happening in there though.
That's no
gateway horror doesn't have real scary things.
Gremlins is a gateway horror movie. It's got scary things.
It's not a gateway horror
The
movie.
Monster Squad has scary things. It's a gateway horror movie.
Yeah, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's not. You have to have some horror in there, or all going to be a gateway.
I was just thinking, what would be a gateway horror?
I just listed a few of them.
No, I'll think of it. I'll keep thinking about it while we go.
I can't wait. I can't wait to see what you come back with. It was made by the Kyoto brothers, and they're known for creature and stop motion effects in movies like the Critters franchise and UHF. And Stephen Kyoto is listed as the director of the three brothers, but it's the only feature film he's ever directed so far.
Man, how?
I don't know. And this is an 80s movie with 80s music and 80s characters doing 80s things. If you want to know what the 80s was like, and we are experts on the subject, this is what the 80s were like.
Absolutely. The soundtrack at the beginning.
It's the song is a banger, Pete.
And it had to be made for the movie. It's called Killer Klowns. They don't do that enough anymore. Where's Will Smith?
The score is a banger.
It only's got like 2 songs on it.
And it works every time. It's great. Okay, we'll just go step by step through the movie, unless you're going to interrupt again.
I'm going to try my best. Go through it quick. Give me the synopsis. Clowns land to eat people.
We heard in the opening clip there, a farmer sees the clown's ship land and thinks it's Halley's Comet, so he doesn't have any understanding of what Halley's Comet does. And also, it was 2 years after Halley's Comet, so I'm guessing this movie was set in 86.
It might be back.
But it might be set in 86.
It was set in 88.
You also have no idea what Halley's Comet is, because it wouldn't be back in 2 years.
I stood up.
2 things it doesn't do. Come back in 2 years and land.
It does come back in 2 years. It was 1988, I tell you.
No, I think it's set in 86. Also, the farmer is played by Royal Dano, the same actor who played Gramps in House 2, The Second Story. He's the first to eat a cotton candy ray gun shot and turn into a big pink bulb of cotton candy.
Because they store you in cotton candy. It's like a little cocoon.
The bodies in the cotton candy cocoons are always the creepiest thing to me, even watching it this time.
I forgot that the ultimate goal in those cocoons is to be liquefied, and the clown sticks giant bendy straws into the cocoons to drink out the innards.
Yeah, that messed me up a little as a kid, that they just drink out of a bendy straw.
No, yeah, that one's memorable. It was for me the cop. He wasn't the sheriff, but he was the old cop who was apparently he hated all things.
What I like to do is go through it in order, and then you comment on it when we get to it.
All right, jeez.
We do have time. We literally have time.
All right, just give me the whole synopsis.
That was the plan.
Okay,
but you do it every time. The guy that plays Dave, the young cop who's one of the main characters, looks like Johnny Lawrence and Glenn Powell had a baby.
I don't know who either of those people are.
You know who Johnny Lawrence is from Karate Kid?
Oh, Zabka?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I do know him.
He looks like William Zabka and Glenn Powell, who is, Glenn Powell, he's in everything.
He does. I just watched The Running Man.
Well, how do you not know who he is if you just watched the movie he stars in?
I didn't know that was
Is
his
it any
name.
good?
No,
I didn't think so. It was a kind of a bummer, but people don't want to admit it, but Edgar Wright's gotten away from himself.
I know, that's why I watched it, because it was Edgar Wright.
Yeah, that's why I was interested in it, because it was Edgar Wright. And I like Glenn Powell fine, and I like Michael Cera.
They're all...
And I think Coleman Domingo's in it. Like, I like a lot of the actors in it.
You walk away going, eh.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I think, like I said, people have this affinity for Edgar Wright. I do too.
Me too.
Shaun of the Dead.
I know. It's
I
been
mean,
a
come
minute.
on. People love Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Never saw it.
So it feels like he's going to get a pass forever for it, because there's a whole generation of people who like that's their favorite weird movie. I think it's fine. I think that movie's incredibly overrated.
Again, never. It just doesn't seem to interest me.
It's just not doing. It's not as interesting as people think it is. I don't know what to tell you.
But like I said, last night at Soho I haven't seen it either, but it's the last time that I think people were really on board with an Edgar Wright movie, and I've been intrigued to watch it, but I haven't yet. So I guess that does speak to.
I mean, I guess I'll give him a pass forever too, because of Shaun of the Dead. That's one of the all-time great movies. So you make one of those, you get to stand up. He also had very nice things to say after Wes Craven died, because Wes Craven had to contact him to, or at least the production company, to ask if they could use Shaun of the Dead and Scream 4. And he was like, "Oh my God, of course you can." It's like, I couldn't believe, because Scream is what made me want to make movies. He's like, I saw Scream, and then I started pitching a zombie movie that's kind of like Scream. That's what Shaun of the Dead. That's how I pitched Shaun of the Dead, so people understood it. It's like, that movie made this great impact on my life. So, to have him call me and be like, "Can we put Shaun of the Dead in Scream 4?" I was like, this is the greatest thing ever. He's like, and I was supposed to have lunch with him, and it fell through, and I never met him, and it was just like, I'm just bummed. So I like Edgar Wright, the person. But
Yeah.
also, just make movies with Simon Pegg and Nick Frost. Why are you making stuff without them? It's not going great.
Baby Driver was all right.
Wouldn't Running Man be better if Simon Pegg was the Running Man?
Yes.
Are you to tell me that Nick Frost isn't Michael Cera? That's
Having just watched that movie, yes. I would say I want that, and I'm really angry that nothing against Glenn Powell. He's fine. He's great even.
But when you see the trailer, you're like, well, he's going to have to win, because look at him. Of course he can handle this. You know who can't handle this? Simon Pegg.
and he's angry. That's Glenn Powell's whole thing. He's so mad at the way the world is. I could see ineffectual.
But he's angry, but he can't do anything about it, so he's just frustrated.
Right.
A frustrated Simon Pegg running through a world trying to kill him is infinitely better.
Frustrated anger. That's awesome.
Yeah. Impotent rage.
Now you've made me
That's
really
what
dislike that
that's what they
movie.
should call it too. Impotent rage.
That's going to be part 2. Running Man 2. Impotent rage. I don't even know how that movie ended. Son of a bitch. That's how forgettable
I'm
it
sure
is.
he turned the tables on it, and then he threw Coleman Domingo into the game, because that's what happens in the.
I don't think he does.
They change everything in that '80s movie, and it's better. It's better to do it that way.
I never read the short story.
Oh, I also saw Return to Silent Hill.
How was that? I never saw the other second one.
It doesn't matter. Oh my God, Pete. Oh my God, this movie.
Well, I kind of like the first one with Sean Bean.
When I wrote the review that I know you haven't read,
Of course not.
I mentioned that some people do have the soft spot for that movie, even though it's not good. But it's fucking Shakespeare compared to the two that came after it.
I never saw
This is the same director of the first one returning 20 years later to make this movie.
It wasn't that
And it's
great.
just a straight up adaptation of Silent Hill 2. Like to the point where when it started and you're in that opening area, if you remember Silent Hill 2, you're in the opening area that's like a little rest stop with this grungy bathroom, and it looks so good where I'm like, wow, I got almost chills. I was like, they fucking did a great job. The problem is the whole movie looks like that. So it's just like I'm watching the video game cutscenes.
Okay.
You know what doesn't work in movies?
Video game cutscenes.
Video game cutscenes. Because not only does every digital thing look like a video game, which is fine if you're going for that aesthetic, I guess, but the story doesn't work, because the story of Silent Hill 2 is stupid. But it's fine because you're spending 45 minutes in between playing video games before you get to the next cutscene. And you're in control, so you're immersed in it. You're not immersed in this movie because you can't be, because you're watching video game cutscenes. You know what else doesn't happen in cutscenes? Action or adventure. So this movie has nothing.
You know what movie doesn't have a lot of CGI? Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
That's true, although their ray guns have to be.
Yep, and the comet, Halley's Comet going overhead. Did you see all the electricity in their circus tent when it electrified the old farmer?
I didn't look up what this guy that played Dave ever did, but looking like a cross between Johnny Lawrence and Glenn Powell is an excellent thing to look like. So I'd hope he got some work, or at least around that time, because he looked like a leading man type, which was the weird choice, because for part of the movie you're supposed to not like him, but you do, because like he's just way cooler than Mike.
There was a lot of trying to figure out who I'm supposed to follow. The
Yeah.
guy at the very, like, it was just the cutscene, even before the farmer, when the guy's crossing the street and the one cop is just sitting there looking. I was like, oh, these kids. And then the guy crosses the street and the kid's like, fucking cops.
Do you think this is like a Gremlins 2 situation where Dave was supposed to be a bit more of an antagonist because he used to date Debbie, and then they got partway through filming and they're like, he's too cool. We got to make him a good guy.
I honestly don't know.
I don't know either.
As I was watching, like, the story doesn't really matter so much.
No,
it's
of course
more
not.
about the clowns going to places and wreaking havoc. That's what that movie is.
The next thing I wrote here was, which will match up with what you just said because you always jump the line. I guess the actual main characters are Mike and Debbie, but the story wanders around to multiple perspectives without warning. There's ice cream men and an old cop. There's ice cream men and an old cop, and sometimes just random people leading the scenes. And of course the clowns. Now you can talk.
I don't want to talk. They're too good. The ice cream men are the best. They, at the beginning too, even before the comment. See, your synopsis is terrible. First off, we went on a big long rant about Simon Pegg for a while, which I don't remember even being in this movie.
He was one of the clowns.
I almost believed you for a minute. I really did. I forgot what I was going to say. Something. Oh, the ice cream men, because they're all up at Makeout Point, whatever they call it. And the ice cream men show up trying to sell ice cream to people who are clearly
That's not what they're trying to do.
Yeah, they are.
They're trying to lure husky women into their truck to make out with them.
No.
They have two, and they're like, you told us we could have all the ice cream we need. You never said nothing about parking with us. So they had to take them home.
The fudgy wudgies?
Pete, when I was a kid, I thought these two guys had it all. They had an ice cream truck. They were picking up women. Only now watching it did I realize they're losers.
I'm not entirely sure they were losers.
They were funny. I thought these were like the coolest guys in the world. I aspired to be these ice cream men.
I mean, it's a noble calling to be an ice cream man. When was the last time you've seen an ice cream man?
Oh, well, it's winter now, but I did see one not pretty deep into summer. I couldn't believe it was driving down my road because there's no houses on my road.
Yeah.
And they were playing the music. I was like, why here?
I wish.
Pete, with my dogs, anytime one's within 6 blocks, I know where he is.
But it's been so long. This neighborhood that I live in is full of kids.
That's where they should be, yeah.
There's not. I tracked one down. Like, I've gotten to the point where I can hear it, and you can hear when the wind's right. Those ice cream trucks, like miles away, where I just drive with them. I'm like, kids, and we get in the car and roll the windows down, and I go.
To go buy ice cream, you could get at the gas station.
No, that's not. They don't have anywhere near the variety or the cost of the ice cream truck ice cream. I found him once, and he was a few blocks away. And he said he starts off like in the city and works his way east. But by the time he gets like part way, he usually runs out of ice cream because everyone buys it. I told him, come by all the time. I'll buy ice cream from you every goddamn day. He didn't come by.
I can't believe he's going to miss out on those $4.
I spent like $20. First off, I think every ice cream costs $4 now.
Oh.
It's $4 to $6 per ice cream.
Then it is more than the gas station.
Of course it is. What do you think? I'm just making that
Oh,
up?
I thought you meant it was cheaper.
No.
I stopped listening to you because
It's way
I
more
breeze out.
expensive because it's got that. You get a little show too. You get the music. You get the guy who opens up that back little window thing. Is like, what can I get for you? And then you get to look at all the pictures on the side of the truck, and some of them have X's in it. You know what that means? No, none of those are left.
Okay.
Sometimes they still have the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle ice creams where the gumball eyes have like drifted all over. I don't think they make those anymore.
The old cop is played by the dean from Animal House.
That's where he's from.
Which makes him the only actor I've ever seen in anything else from this movie. He gets turned into a ventriloquist dummy by a clown after earlier saying of the clown situation, "You're not going to make a dummy out of me." It's the first time I caught that.
That was the part. That was the creepy part. I think when I was a kid, the creepiest was
It is creepy. They're using him to talk. Yeah.
Right. He's just like, don't worry, we're just here to kill you.
Also, he died 21 years ago.
Who? The cop or the clown? I don't know.
Simon Pegg's still alive.
Oh yeah, that's right. So it must have been the cop. I don't care. He was a jerk. He was very Chief Wiggum as the whole town was calling in to report the problems.
Chief Wiggum believes there's issues. He just isn't competent to do anything about it. This guy exists solely to live in a state of disbelief over the situation. No matter how many people call the station reporting there are killer clowns, no matter that another cop tells him he's seen a killer clown, even when he sees a giant clown walk into the station, nothing in the world will change this man's mind. Like, okay, these kids, these pesky kids, I don't like them, Mike and Debbie. You're making up crap. People are always pulling pranks on this police station because we're a podunk town. Okay, I can get to that one. When your deputy calls you and says, yeah, there's killer clowns out here, you should take that seriously. He just like, no. Then he gets repeated phone calls from people in town that are not teenagers. And he's like, I'm tired of this prank. And then a clown walks in and he's like, oh, you're part of that prank. What? How is he the sheriff?
I think he was the
Oh,
sheriff.
I think you're right.
Really,
How is he a cop?
Somehow Glenn Powell was the sheriff.
I don't think that's right.
He was in charge. And
I don't think that's right at all.
really?
No.
Because I feel like he was being given orders. The Animal House guy was being given orders by Glenn Powell.
I think he was getting orders from like somebody that was on the phone. I think like the sheriff's like an absentee sheriff.
Oh, maybe. I was more looking forward to the clowns. Oh gosh, there were so many fun things here. The Knock Your Block Off is going to happen the next week.
Next week?
In next week's episode, or last week's episode, right?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we got the payoff now.
Yes.
The clown.
If you listen to last week's episode, he did a Knock Your Block Off thing, and I was like, oh, that's from the next movie we're doing. And he looked at me dead-eyed.
I didn't know where it was from.
Did you watch this already?
No.
Oh, all right.
That's why.
Yeah, a clown comes across a gang of bikers who are mean in a way bikers generally aren't. Because, I mean, bikers can be mean, but not the way this guy was. He was acting like he was talking to a child.
Well, that was the
But
shortest.
he was mocking him.
It was the shortest of the clowns you see.
Yeah, but he had a motorcycle. He had a bicycle.
It was a little. I don't even know what it was.
Yeah.
Moped?
Tricycle.
A clown ped? Did you see any of the graffiti on the wall behind him?
No, I wasn't looking.
I couldn't make it out. One said no butt, no putt, and then something, and I couldn't make out what was underneath it.
That would be a weird bartering system to have a mini golf.
It could be. The door said doorway to hell around it. Yes. But those bikers.
I don't think this got nominated for production design.
Everything about this movie should have had it. It was those bikers looked hard and dangerous. Like if I was that clown, I might have thought twice because that's how scary these guys were. And they come up and start saying, "Let me ride your bike, little clown."
Oh no, the episode where the Knock Your Block Off happens doesn't come until February 11th.
February 11th. Well, look forward to that one.
That's the Friday 13th Part 8 Jason Takes Manhattan watch along where the guy gets his head knocked off. And you said knocked his block off. And I was like, well, that's for a different movie that already happened.
But you were right. It did happen. That was filmed before Friday the 13th.
Yes, 1 year before.
Yep.
Yep.
I know my math.
No, you don't.
I just guessed.
The clowns look awesome.
Yep.
They're giant. That's just all makeup, I guess, and prosthetics.
It's prosthetics and makeup.
But they look awesome. And unlike Clown in the Cornfield, they do actual clowning in this movie. Balloon animals, shadow puppets, a ventriloquist act, pies to the face, killer popcorn, killer puppet show.
The puppet show, by the way, do you get the impression that he wasn't luring anybody in? The clown was just there doing a puppet show.
The actor who has no lines
The
watching
watcher?
the puppet show
Yeah.
is my favorite actor in this movie.
I think I might be agreeing with you.
He is nonplussed by this entire situation, but he's going to let it play out. He has this perfect expression of, what is this childish bullshit? And then he crosses his arms and he's like, but I'll watch through to see if anything interesting happens. And I find him compelling.
He starts laughing like
Yes.
he's really into the show. And it isn't until he laugh too loud or he claps and he draws the clown's attention. The clown pops up like, huh?
I think he might give the best performance in this movie because I was on the edge of my seat with this guy. Because what's his motivation? What's he thinking? But he kind of walks you through it all. Like, I don't have to guess where I stand with him. Because at first I'm like, why is he standing there? But then he starts enjoying it. And I'm like, he's here for the ride. And I really appreciate that.
That was all emoting too. As
No,
you said, no words.
no words.
He was the perfect mime. Mime versus clown. I think we just witnessed.
Well, we know who won.
Yeah, it's
but
the clowns.
that guy might get my favorite performance of this entire movie.
I think you're right. It was the most believable. I don't know. That farmer at the beginning who got hornswoggled.
You're right. He was a classically trained actor from many, many cowboy movies.
I was so sad when he died. I wanted him to be the crazy person who brings the truth to the town.
And also, this 80s soundtrack, I know it's just the same score beat over and over again, but it is a killer score.
About killer clowns.
It's one of the best scores I've ever heard in a movie. Every time it started up, I got excited.
Yep. I forgot. I honestly forgot that soundtrack was there until the movie started, and then it hit, and it all came rushing back in a tide of memory. And it is thrilling. There's the shadow puppets kill.
The Shadow Puppets Kill is great. If people, people might not have seen it. There's people on the street, watching,
A bus. Or waiting for a bus.
waiting for a bus, and then a clown comes up and does very basic shadow puppet on a wall. And they're like, oh, all right. And then he starts doing far more complex ones. And Man of Action Dave is like, hold on, let's see this, see what happens here. And Mike's like, he's going to kill these people. And he's like, it's a shadow puppet. And then he makes a big dinosaur that eats them. And it's awesome.
Yes. The popcorn. Oh my God. Right. At some point I'd run if the shadow, I don't know, has glowing red eyes as opposed to just being a shadow on a wall. I might think something is weird. There was something else though.
I think Gremlins 2 stole from this.
When did Gremlins 2 come out?
Gremlins 2 1990. Okay. And when they're in the theater, the Hulk Hogan part, when they rip the, oh wait, was it Gremlins or Gremlins 2? I think it was Gremlins 2. When they start making the shadow puppets and they can make like a perfect Abraham Lincoln.
I think that was 2.
I think it was 2.
Might have been 1 though.
There might have been 1 because they're in a theater and 1 too. I think it's 2 though. I'm pretty sure it's 2. 2's wackier.
Yeah. All right. I forgot where we were going.
Well, I was going to talk about the practical effects in this movie, which are all excellent and hold up excellently.
It's because they're doing stuff for real. And where they put the CGI in, because
supposed to look weird.
It's so clunky, it works.
Well, it's alien technology, Pete. How do you know what it's supposed to look like?
Exactly. It's a clunk because they're clowns. God damn, their spaceship is a giant circus tent full of weirdness.
We forgot to mention that. It's just like the circus landed in town.
Oh, and it's a creep.
And we didn't have it in the clip, but the guy's like, maybe we can get a free pass. And he's looking around, but then he's like, where's the ticket booth? So I guess he's ready to pay.
I like that he's lived on that land for, I don't know, generations, and he's not surprised at all that the circus tent came in the middle of the night in the woods.
I like that man had been acting for many decades, and he had no problem going out there and doing scenes where he's just talking to himself, which is horrifically dumb. Nobody talks to themselves like that.
Tell that to Shakespeare.
I can't. He's been dead for...
All his people did monologues all over the place.
Well, the only one you're thinking of is probably Hamlet.
To clown or not to clown?
Yes.
That is the question.
Yes. But Hamlet is, in some views, insane, in some views, trying to lure people into his trap. So it makes complete sense that he would do that.
Or the clowns Hamlet, perhaps? We don't know their backstory.
No, we don't know enough about them. I'd love a sequel where we go to their home planet.
There is a sequel, isn't there?
There's not a sequel.
Oh, I swear to God, I thought I saw somewhere that there was
There's
a sequel.
nothing. And I would love one that goes back to their home planet and we discover more about their...
Because we don't even know why they came. They might have just been passing through. Stop for a snack.
Yeah, that's probably right.
Right.
Just to fuel up their
cotton candy. The Fright World in Buffalo at Halloween times, in the old Kmart, they've got one of the houses is a clown house, and you turn one corner and it's all killer clowns. Like it's the cotton candy sacks hanging and you got to push your way through them. There's no faces inside because you're right. That's creepy as shit.
Yeah, that part was always the one that got me as a kid. It was like, this is high stakes.
There's something, I don't know what it is, but there's something very like, it speaks to the core of you being like, you peel off some cotton candy and there's a rotting face inside.
Yes. Yummy.
No, not yummy.
The clowns pull a land shark at one point. Because we just cut to a montage of them knocking on doors with pizza or chocolates.
Yeah.
And getting people to open the doors so they can cotton candy them. But that is a total land shark move.
It's all them in the supermarket, not the pharmacy. When at first it's the one clown, and then you have the clerk just sitting there watching the clowns destroy the store very slowly, just like experimenting with human goods and items.
Well, we get a clown thing that comes out of the toilet at one point to attack Debbie.
That's the popcorn.
So, Killer Klowns from Outer Space 1, Ghoulies 0.
Right, the toilet debate coming. The cover of Ghoulies has a ghoulie in a toilet, but there is no ghoulie in a toilet. Killer Klowns? Yes.
By the way, the first time I watched this movie, probably around 10 years old or so, I was so excited Debbie was going to take a shower. Then I was disappointed you don't see anything. And Pete, 36 years later, I was so excited Debbie was going to take a shower. And then I was disappointed you don't see anything.
Well, they didn't make the 80s checklist, right?
No. When it cuts back to her, she's wearing a sweater in the bathroom.
I saw that.
That's how nothing you see in Killer Klowns from Outer Space.
I will say, you see a bit of bra.
Well, I have to go back now.
Yeah, when she's lifting up her shirt to take a shower.
I had a crush on Debbie when I was watching this, yeah.
I had a crush on the short
Like now. Now I did.
I don't even know who she is.
I think I saw she was like one of the sorority girls in Night of the Creeps, but not like one we could pick out.
Just a background sorority girl. Night of the Creeps was another good one.
Yeah, 2 years before this.
That was another alien movie.
5 clowns get out of a clown car at one point to kill a security guy with pies. I think they should have had at least 3 times as many clowns get out of that car.
The pies, though. That was great. Like, what are you going to do? Pie me?
But that joke worked every time a new clown stepped out, and they only did it 4 extra times. Like, there should have been at least 15 clowns getting out of that car.
Well, you can only fit so many clowns in a clown car. Those are real effects. There's no CGI there. There's no trickery. Those are all real clowns, I think.
But the way it was framed, you could have just kept walking them in from behind the car and making them get out of the other door. You could have done this forever. They could still be doing it right now, and I'd still be laughing every time one came out. I would love it if I went to bed and came out, and there was suddenly 3,000 clowns, and another one popped out, and then one was Will Sasso.
What if that was a movie where just in the middle of it, there's 10 minutes of just clowns get just run something.
Don't tempt me with a good time. You kill them by destroying their noses.
Well, it's logical.
I guess
it's 100% logical. Let me see here. The clown in the pizza box.
Yes, that was an awesome effect too.
That one is awesome. Everything. The clown trying to lure the little kid away from the Big Top Circus restaurant, where her parents are ignoring her, and the clown's outside, just kind of
80s parents.
Yep. I mean, that parent did show up. I really thought that clown was going to whack her with the giant hammer he had behind his back, and then put her in a.
Yeah, it feels more dangerous than it is this movie. Although there's a fairly high body count, it's just you don't see everybody get it.
But everyone dies.
Yeah,
it's
not a big town either.
No, but at one point the clowns have a cotton candy recovery machine sweeping the streets, just scooping up all of the body bags full of cotton, people. That's how many people were done, and then they all die at the end.
The horny ice cream guys who were luring all the husky women into their truck, they come across 2 female clowns, and their boobs expand. And because earlier he was told Debbie's roommates have big boobs, he's like, "Are you Debbie's roommates?" And they're in. They're officially down to clown.
They were. They were in the middle of a clown, hellscape? They were inside the spaceship at that point?
Pete, I'm not sure they ever figured that out. From their perspective, I'm not sure they ever figured out anything strange was afoot.
Son of a bitch. No, they were just told, hey, we need your ice cream truck. There's going to be girls there.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, we're in.
And then they see girls and they're like, all right, we're not picky.
And then they died at the end.
No, they didn't. They get out of the ice cream truck. They hid in the freezer when it exploded.
That's right.
And so they figured out something was wrong, but I'm not sure they ever figured out the situation at all that surrounded them.
But they very clearly got it on with those clowns, because when they reappear...
I was hoping the clowns would come out with them.
Oh, man, that would have been great.
Yes. There's a lot of gremlins going on in this movie.
Well,
they're just giant gremlins.
Yeah. Like I said at the beginning, there's not really a plot so much as a bunch of different cutscenes of clowns murdering people.
There's so much not a plot that even when you think there's going to be a plot, like, oh, this is my ex-boyfriend Dave, there's not a plot.
Well, we're going to be dropping you off at home.
They just all... First of all, did you see the way Debbie ran to Dave when he was alive?
Which part?
To throw his arms around.
Oh, at the end
of the
there?
movie.
Yeah. Oh, my God, yeah. Right in front of her, right in front of Mike.
No, he ran over and got himself a piece, too, because they're buddies now.
Oh, is that how it worked out?
I can't tell you what she's into or how he treated her behind the scenes in their backstory, but Dave is a far better match for Debbie than Mike is. Dave is the hero of the movie, which is funny because it's very much Gremlins 2, where the guy you're introduced to, who at first you're not supposed to like that much, ends up being a hero. He ends up winning the day for everybody because Mike can't do shit.
No.
Dave can do shit.
Mike's best friends are the ice cream boys.
He destroys the big bad, and Debbie should rethink her love life. By the way, Debbie, I think, is actually a pretty great character in this, because right from the drop, she's like, I don't like this. This doesn't seem like a good idea. And Mike's like, no, let's go check it out. And every turn, if you watch that movie, the beginning of that movie, at every turn, she's like able to call out the danger before it happens, and Mike just keeps running headfirst into it. She needs to get with Dave.
But then Dave might have been too late.
Then we can putt.
Butt or putt. I wish I knew what that last line was.
I thought it was butt for putt.
No, it said butt or putt or... No, it said butt, putt, or something else. Like
people can listen back. I think you said 4.
I might have. I don't know what it said. I guess we got to watch it again.
Oh, I'll watch this again.
I will. What else? What else?
I have seen it not that long ago, to be honest with you. No, when I say not that long ago, time keeps moving faster and faster as we hurtle towards our own inevitable demises. It was probably a decade ago, but that isn't that long ago.
No, it's relatively close.
Yeah, it's not like I watched it in the 80s.
No, it's been over a decade, but well before kids since I last saw this movie.
Oh, that's a long time. Well, yeah. Although your kid's like 11, so it's not that much longer than 10.
No, but I feel like it was well before that too.
But time was moving slower back then.
That's true. There's a video game of the
Yes,
Killer Klowns.
I've played it.
Have you? I've
Yes.
seen my niece. I should have had my niece on this episode. She knows this movie so well.
I've played it, but it's one of those 4 versus 1 or 3 versus 1 games where it's fun, but if you get into a group where like people don't know what they're doing, it's not that fun. And then if you're the guy that doesn't know what they're doing, it's not that fun either. So it's hard to find that balance.
Yeah.
But it is cool. You hit them with a ray gun and they turn into sacks, and then you have to take them back and hang them on hooks. And I enjoyed that.
I watched it. Yeah, you play as the person or the clown.
Yeah.
It's randomized.
And I've had fun playing both.
Okay.
But again, sometimes you just like you try to play it, and then somebody's too good at it, and you're like, well, I don't have time to invest in this to be good at the Killer Klowns from Outer
That was
Space
the
game.
Friday the 13th game. You
Yes.
remember that one? It was the same exact thing. I played that one a little bit.
I liked when I could figure out immediately who was good at it, and then I just followed them. I would never wanted to play as Jason. Too much pressure.
I was Jason the very first time. Guess what? Everyone lived.
Too much pressure.
I couldn't figure out my buttons.
But being a survivor was genuinely terrifying.
That sounds cool.
So I would follow the person I knew knew what they were doing.
I mean, that's very true to the movies.
That's what I would do in real life.
Right. Find somebody who seems like they know what they're doing and just follow them. That's what I do when I get lost. I look for a car that looks like it knows where it's going, and I follow that for a while.
I've had to do that before in snowstorms.
Where you just pick a car.
I was on a road down in the south towns of Buffalo, which is where all the snow really comes. I mean, we get it in the north, obviously, too. But the bad snowstorms will happen in the south, below the football stadium. And I was down there trying to get to my father's house, and I was on whatever throughway it was, and you couldn't even see the sticks anymore to tell you if you were on the road. And at some point, my car just stopped, and I was like, I think I'm in a snowbank. I could not tell because I was going so slow that it wasn't like I was hitting it. I just drove into the snowbank. So I rolled down the window, popped out of the car. The snow was almost up to the fucking window. And I was looking around. I'm like, yep, I'm in the snowbank. So I managed to somehow, in a Ford Escort, a 90s Ford Escort, managed to get the car back onto the thruway again. And then a car came by me, like a cop car, and I just stuck to his bumper until he got me to an exit, and I got off. And then I was just like stranded in the middle of nowhere in Angola or something. Yep. I didn't even know where I was anymore. And I took Route 20 all the way home.
I've been in stuff like that.
Just to tell the listener what our weather's like in Buffalo, not one drop of snow at my house, slightly north of the city. South of the city, couldn't see the road to know I had gone off of it and was in a snowbank.
The way the bands hit, with snow bands, it's
Yes.
a mile or two will make a huge difference.
So when people talk about the Buffalo snow, like talk about the cold all you want to, it's fucking freezing out there right now. But when we talk about the Buffalo snow, it's not the same where most people live as it is where people have the rich people for some reason choose to live in the snow. It's weird.
It's weird. Like you'll go a mile and it's sunny and nice.
Yes.
Then you hit, I don't know, snowpocalypse for a few miles. Then
We
it's
had
sunny again.
a storm here just a few years back, probably 10 years ago, probably right around the time I was watching Killer Klowns from Outer Space, where it was probably less than 10 years, where 7 feet of snow dropped in one day on the South Towns. And I looked outside and I didn't have a spot of snow on my grass.
Nope.
And you could see in the distance where it was from my house, but it never hit my house.
That was the wall of snow.
It was insane.
It was one straight line.
And that was the time where you'd see people open their door and the snow was up past their door and they just turned it into a refrigerator because their power was out. So they would put their beer and stuff dig it out and put it in the snow.
Yep. I've seen those.
I mean, I've had to bury food in the snow once because we lost power.
The last time we lost power, like big, it was the October storm.
Yes, but there was no snow then.
No, there was a ton of snow.
But it wasn't enough to bury things into.
Oh, well, no, it also warmed up the next day, but the power went out.
Well, let me explain to people what the October storm was. We got a massive snowstorm, but it wasn't the amount of snow. It was that the leaves hadn't fallen off the trees yet. So it just knocked down all the trees. Like to a degree where you couldn't believe you were driving on the road, how many giant trees were down because it couldn't handle the weight. But it wasn't like the amount of snow wasn't enough to what I'm talking about, where you lost power in February once and there was snow all over the place. So you took out like your meats and you put them in a plastic bag and you wrapped them up and you put it in the snow because you had to keep them cold.
I just ate them all the first day.
I know you did.
We went to my mom's house. We pulled the grill out. We cooked everything in her freezer. We drank all her booze. And then the next day we woke up with no power and no heat and no food.
Yes.
And it was and hangovers. And it was miserable.
One of the few people that left my house during the October storm. I was at home. My power went out. This is our apartment. I was at the apartment. You'd moved out already, I think. I was at the apartment. The power went out. And I was like, but I want to watch TV. So I drove into the storm, looking at giant trucks on the side of the road going, oh, that seems bad. And then I got to the bar and the power was on. I was like, all right. And I sat there, power went out 5 minutes later. And I was like, oh, might as well get drunk, I guess. And then I drove home
In the dark.
in the middle of the night, got pulled out of a ditch twice. There was a lot of good Samaritans out there.
That is the nice part about the snow. People stop. I've stopped driving and helped people shovel out before.
I left my car in the middle of a busy road because I just couldn't get it off the ice it was stuck on. Until the next day, I walked back out to it, and like 6 people ran over and helped me push it out.
Yep.
And I had barely enough gas to crash into my mother's driveway and be like, I remember I walked in, I was like, so I'm gonna need like to figure out how to get to a gas can before I can get my car out of your driveway. It's over now.
This car lives here.
So I had to walk to the gas station to buy things. I couldn't get her car around my car because it was like, I'm stuck. I put it in the driveway. That was a mistake. But I didn't want to leave it on the road.
Because
So
of plows. I
it
know.
was what it was.
I understand.
Yes.
How'd we get on snow?
How did we get in snow? I'm sure it's your fault.
The Informer?
Ooh. You know, say Snow's daddy is no blame.
I lick your boom boom now.
I thought he'd licky boom boom down.
Maybe.
I thought he was giving instructions.
I have no idea what he was singing about.
It's like that scene in Sinners where he explains how to keep a woman happy.
Yeah, you buy your stuff.
That's been my understanding as well.
That's what I like.
That's how you keep them tolerating you, at
I
least.
don't know. Kitty tried to say something about listening or something. I don't know. She talks a lot.
Women be talking.
And moms be yelling.
And she's a mom. So you got to listen to both sides of it. She's talking to you and she's yelling at them.
She's yelling at me sometimes too.
Well, you are a child.
We were ice skating last night, and it's cold here, right?
It's freezing. It's literally, I looked at my phone today. It's 6 degrees. I was like, fuck me.
Oh,
Man.
it's gone up.
That's what I said too.
It was 2 when I woke up. The sun's out. So we're with another kid's parent. We're just kind of talking, and Kitty and the other mother there, they're yelling at the kids because every kid there is only wearing a sweater, right? And they all have their winter stuff on. And then I'm sitting there with the kids, and I look down, and I only had a sweater on too. I'm like, oh, I guess I'm on the right side of this fucking table over here.
I always go with the classic, when I have to go outside for something like the shovel or something like that, I always go with the classic hoodie and shorts.
Yeah.
I leave my shorts. Like, my legs aren't going to get that cold in the time I'm out here.
With the temperature the way it's at now, I've had to put pants on to go shovel.
I didn't have to shovel today because I did it yesterday or 2 days ago enough.
Mm-hmm.
And I went out there and the wind gusts were getting me. Not because of the cold wind hitting my legs. I didn't care about that. But I was getting lots of snow blown in my face. And I was like, I do not enjoy this at all.
You live by a big field.
I do. I live across the
nothing.
street from an elementary school. And the field just blows every piece of snow into specifically my driveway.
Right. I remember trying to drive down your street, and it's just a wall of white on a windy day.
It is. And they built an extension on it, and I'm hoping that it cuts down on some of it.
It'll somehow make it worse.
It might, because it's pretty bad right now. I got to your house, and I was like, it's like, well, you got a lot less snow than we did.
Cheektowaga isn't usually known for less snow on the road.
No.
We're
But it's just, I always know it's just, I never can tell. This is the worst part. I can never tell what's going on outside because I look outside during the winter and it's always terrible. But then I get 1 block away and I'm like, oh, it's perfectly fine. But my house looks like Armageddon because of that field. But I love the field so much during non-winter that I don't like complain about it.
Why? What?
Because there's nothing better in the world, Pete, than opening your front door, walking outside and seeing no fucking people. There's no house there. I'm not looking at the same house every day and the same people in the house. I don't have to like think about the neighbors looking. There's nothing there. I love it. I mean, there's like school there, but nobody's, I love it. There's an openness to it that I fucking love. But then the winter, that openness really bites you in the ass.
See, I like that. I like the people. I
hate people.
I like standing there with my cup of coffee in the morning, looking out the window at people like walking their dogs or doing stuff, and I try to figure out what they're doing. Sometimes they'll look at me, and I'll stare back, and Kitty's like, "Put some pants on, you freak."
I told you, like, one time the little dog was yapping in my front yard, so I opened the door and I was like, "All right, let's try to figure out what this dog is." And I just about gotten him, and I was looking at his tag, and a woman came over, and she's like, "Oh, it's my dog." I was like, "All right, well, here you go." And she's like, "Thank you so much." I was like, "Well, are you new to the neighborhood? It's pretty nice, right?" Or whatever. And she's like, "I've lived here for 6 years." She lived 2 doors down. I'm like, that checks out. That's how little I talk to anybody in my neighborhood.
The person who
First time I've ever seen this person in my entire life.
But
But again, there's nobody across the street to look at, so it's on the sides.
and who looks to the side?
Nobody listens. 2 houses down?
Well, I would say that, but 2 houses away from me lives a giant, like a legitimate climbing up a beanstalk, owns a goose that lays golden eggs giant. This guy is huge. And every once in a while, like I'll be watching TV in my living room because my living room's at the front of the house, and like the sun will disappear. And I'm like, what? And I look, and there's just a giant walking by the window on a sidewalk, and he's got a tiny little dog. It's very, very humorous. You'll have to come hang out and watch sometime.
Are you laughing at the size of my automobile?
No, just as the size of him. I don't know how he gets in a car.
You know that reference, right?
It's the Simpsons.
Yes.
Like most of my references are Simpsons at this point. They were on for so long, and I watched so much of it. It's just in my head. I have no memory of it being the Simpsons, but it's just what I talk. Probably 90% of my conversation is Simpsons lines.
Nobody listens enough to know.
No one does. Not even me. What was I going to say? Something about Killer Klowns.
Yeah, Killer Klowns is one of those movies that like an entire generation of people has seen. I firmly believe that because it appeals to everybody.
Yeah, it does. And this is another one on the string of movies we've been watching that have just been
Fun.
Yeah.
That was the point. I was doing fun movies.
They are fun. I'm really glad we did this one too because I've been needing to see it.
Is that why you got popcorn pulled from every streaming service? But I found it on YouTube, Pete. We're going to get to it sooner or later.
The clowns had popcorn guns, right? At the beginning when Mike and your new girlfriend, I forgot her name. Debbie. When Mike and Debbie go in there.
You hate all my girlfriends.
The clown. I like that one that we were working out to that one time. And then she got a boyfriend and you got really angry because she kept talking about her boyfriend.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, that bitch.
How dare she?
During the pandemic, I lost like a bunch of weight somehow, just like running around the warehouse in the heat. And I thought, I might as well fucking do something with this, I guess, because I'm down 25 pounds without even trying. So I started eating healthier. And I wasn't like very big, but I was just like, they say at 5'11" or whatever I am, that I should be like 180 or something like that. And I was like, that seems ridiculous. 185 maybe. And I got down to 200. That was probably 225. But I was never like fat. I was just like, kind of.
Yeah.
It's like a regular person. And I got down to like 200 without much effort. So I started, that last stuff was harder to lose. So I started eating really healthy and we started working out. So I was like, let me turn some of this into something useful.
Yeah.
And we were watching this woman teach us do the quick workouts. So we'd come over after work to Pete's house and do like 15-minute workouts and then do another one. And then it was like, we love this woman. And then she's like, and this is my boyfriend holding the camera. And I was like, betrayal. A betrayal. Pete, I've never worked out again.
I remember.
I've never eaten a healthy thing again.
You were like, fuck Kyle. Every time she would bring him up for a while,
yes,
fuck him.
I was devastated. I was devastated.
And then we never found somebody else because you couldn't handle the betrayal.
No, what happened was that I got down to like 190 and I just didn't like it at all. I felt sick and cold all the time. And I never get sick except for when I do once every 2 years and then I almost die. But I felt like all the time I was just like, this sucks. I'm going back.
What do you think you think Brad Pitt is happy up there showing off his muscles?
It's true.
No, you think Hugh Jackman in all those Wolverine scenes, he's pleased at being dehydrated?
No, it sucked. It sucked in a way that I was like, and you were in terrible shape before.
Still am.
You couldn't do a sit-up when we started. And now you can, as you've heard on the podcast, do push-ups. So it was good for you to get moving because your body was so broken. And I felt really good for a while. And then the lower I got, I was like, nope, they're wrong. I'm not going any lower.
Brian, I got some kind of food poisoning or something, or a stomach bug the other day. I shit so hard I throw out my back. Nice. Like my body is not in better shape.
I've seen you do push-ups. Yeah. I'm sitting at I lost a bunch of weight when I got really sick that week. But now I've gained it back. So I'm sitting at a nice tight 215, which is probably exactly where I want to be forever because I don't feel ill when I feel comfortable.
I think for a minute I was down around 200 pounds and I didn't have the coldness and the sickness and I kind of liked it, but winter came and I eat and I'm like around 220 and
I had no problem
where I
with
am
it.
now.
I have no problem with not eating that much. I've never really enjoyed eating that much. It's just what I was eating. I'm stuffing ho-hos in my face because like something to do where then now I was like, I'll just have a chicken salad for dinner and be fine. I don't need anything more than that. So I had a really easy time sticking to the diets and stuff. I would eat like I would take eggs into work and eat them for lunch. And it was like, I had no problem with it. Like I actually enjoyed eating that stuff. It was fine.
Cook the eggs?
It was really just what?
Did you cook the eggs?
Yeah,
hard-boiled
like
Rocky.
No, hard-boiled eggs. Okay. And then I would I would eat healthy stuff there, and I'd eat healthy stuff here at home. And then I got down low enough where I just felt weak. And like, even when we were working out to build some muscle stuff, I was just like, I don't like this at all. I just feel like small and weak, and I don't like it.
It's such an expenditure of energy to move. My precious calories are being wasted.
You remember
this
though,
arm.
I attacked that shit hard.
You did.
I was full on eating like great meals a day. I was working out every day. I was like, this is pretty cool, because I really just thought it'd be cool if I was ever in the best shape of my life after the age of 40, which I was. And I was like, oh, I hate it. It's not even the effort. It wasn't the effort I didn't like. I would have been happy to do it. And if you remember, I was about to go get a membership to the gym. Yes. And I was going to get the black card so you could come with me all the time, because you could take somebody every time. And then they reclosed them all because they just opened them. And then after a few months, they closed them all again during the pandemic. And I was like, all right, so I stopped. That was what really ended it all.
Dave, my brother Dave, has one of those cards. I go with him every once in a while.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a whole little spa area where you get like hydro water massages and stuff, which is really nice. But you can't bring your guest in with you. But sometimes Dave and I will sneak. He'll manage to sneak me in, and I get to go steal the luxury of their.
Well, we were this close. Like, I was going the next day, and then they closed it down the day we did that, because you'd agreed. We were like, all right, we'll go, and we were going to have a schedule. And then it closed down. And I was like, all right, I guess we're done. And we took the pandemic seriously, so I wasn't like, I was like, okay, that's better to do close it than keep it open. I avoided COVID the entire time, but that's because I'm very cautious.
Yeah. Well, you might have had it that one time, but no symptoms. When
it's possible I could have had it at any point. I never got any kind of illness enough to even. I mean, we were tested at work for temperature stuff.
Yeah,
what I did, we were selling medical equipment. It was easy to do. I was tested for temperature all the time. My temperature never changed. That doesn't mean I didn't have it.
Right.
But I never got one symptom to the point where I even bothered to get tested.
And you were the only person at your work.
Yes, at one point, every single person was out, and I had to do everything myself.
But no symptoms.
The other thing was, it's a good thing no symptom ever came, because he was like, please don't go get tested, because then we have to shut down. And I was like, that's fine, I'll do it. If I ever got sick, I would have, but I didn't. So I was like, I'm not going to bother testing myself. The odds are I probably had it at that point because everybody else had it.
Send all that COVID medical equipment across the country.
That isn't how that works.
Yeah, it is.
You couldn't make it all the way across the country and still have it.
No, because I was licking everything forever. Don't you remember when it first started? You had to like.
Kitty says that's not true.
No, well, there's some things you can't lick. It's just dangerous.
You licky boom boom down.
I wonder if Snow, the Canadian rapper, ever became a weather person.
You think people don't know who Snow is?
I can't imagine, because I barely remember.
It popped into your head.
It did, but I'm old. That was like 1990 or some shit. 91 maybe?
That was right around then, I think. Yeah, right. Maybe a little later.
I will say that the radio station Kiss.
No, it has to be a little later, because 91 was like Vanilla Ice.
Then it was
so Snow had to be like 98 or something. No,
it was early.
It had to be
I
later.
guarantee you it's 92 or 93.
You guarantee it?
I guarantee you. I'm going to go with 92.
What is the what do I win if you're wrong?
If I'm wrong, I'll tell you a Nick Cage story. And if I'm right, I'll tell you a better Nick Cage story.
92. I got to tell you, Pete, nobody knows white rappers the way you know white rappers.
Why do I know that?
I guess Vanilla Ice might have been 90.
Well, he was 90 and 91.
Well, I'm going to take your word for it, because you are the white rapper expert.
He might have been sooner, but I remember him in 91.
You know who my favorite white rapper is?
The White Chocolate Kit Kat.
Weird Al Yankovic. When he does White and Nerdy.
Son of a bitch, you're right. That is, I guess that counts.
He's great. I've been watching a lot of Weird Al again on YouTube.
So I put him in one of my playlists for music. Weird Al's great.
I've been getting down to Amish Paradise a lot.
I don't put that one in because I feel like that one's been overplayed.
I know, but I feel like I haven't listened to it in a while, so now I've listened to it a bunch of times.
All right.
It's a perfect song.
There's one.
And I listened to Smells Like Nirvana. That's also a great one.
They're all good.
That one is so of its time. It's perfect. Like, of all the things he covers, because he did the video, redid the video and everything too, it's like this perfect thing that just exists.
Even more so than like Fat or Bad or...
Well, those are from a time that I wasn't really a part of.
Oh, okay.
Like, I remember seeing those videos, but I wasn't a part of the culture I was living in because I was 8 or 6.
I was part of that culture.
We were part of the grunge culture. It happened around us, whether we liked it or not. So seeing him redo that video, and when he gets to the singing about barnyard animals, and then you get a cow going, moo, I laughed so fucking hard.
My understanding is that Kurt Cobain
Yes.
was a fan of it as well.
I actually found my YouTube algorithm put up Dave Grohl talking about that, where he said we got a call like in the dressing room from somebody saying Weird Al wanted to ask us if we could do the song, and we were like, oh, okay, let's talk to Weird Al on the phone. And Weird Al's like, he told us the plans, and we're like, he's like, what'd you say? He's like, we said, fucking of course you can do it. What an honor.
It's funny you say it, 'cause I just saw, I guess, the Kurt Cobain or the Weird Al his version of it.
Yeah.
And
The thing we've been talking about for 5 minutes. Yeah.
But instead of the Kurt Cobain and Dave Grohl, it was the Weird Al perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that it was very similar, but he said there was about a half a beat of a pause after the ask, and then they were just all over it. It's like, that sounds really good.
You got to let him do it. It's part of, you've made it. That's how you've made it.
Right. Coolio, I think, is the only person I know that had a
But
problem.
I told you, I think I read that he later in life was like, I was kind of being stupid about that. And then there was like the one time Michael Jackson asked him not to.
Oh,
For
yeah.
Black and White. He's like, this song actually kind of means something to me a little bit. Can you not do it? And then he's like, well, of course I'm not going to do it then because my career exists because he let me do the other ones at the peak of his fame.
And at the same time, Weird Al's not an asshole.
Yeah, and he does it live sometimes.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Still, you got to go to that Weird Al concert.
I've
It's
been
your
to
first concert.
First person I've ever saw perform live was Weird Al Yankovic.
I don't even know who mine was.
Yeah, because it's not as cool.
No, it never will be. It never will be. All right, I got a credit check for you because this one was pretty good. Let's see here. There were 5 electricians on set.
Wow, that's a lot of
It's a
electricians.
crazy amount of electricians. I've never seen that many before. Honey wagon driver, Cliff Martin, keeping it clean. And then catering was by Chef Bill Davis and the caterers, with air quotes. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean, but they were the caterers. The only other song on the soundtrack was written by Shakespeare, called Sandals in the Sand. John Shakespeare. Good old Johnny Shakes. Yup. And I got my Nick Cage news.
All right.
Which,
I knew it was coming. I
Oh,
was
I know.
hoping that it was.
do you remember a long time ago I talked about Nick Cage and Nick Cave and how they get mistaken for each other?
Yeah.
And Nick Cage, they met at an animal sanctuary one time, and Nick Cage was like, hey, only one letter separates us. G.
Yeah, and I said that's very, very egotistical because V also separates them. If you could look at it from anybody else's perspective.
And then I guess they exchanged pleasantries and shook hands. And that was that.
You told that beforehand.
Well, now I have Nick Cave's version.
Oh boy,
This was from
Did he say
Nicolas
V?
Cage. Well, Nick Cage was at the animal sanctuary with his kids, and they're in the gift shop line. This kid's got like a didgeridoo, because I think they're in Australia. And while they're in line, Nick Cave hears it's like the people behind the counter are a bunch of girls, and they start like, ooh, Nick Cage is here. Ooh, they're like whispering to each other, and they start, getting like makeup on and stuff, making themselves look pretty for Nick Cage. And Nick Cave, because this happens a lot, like he gets mistaken. So he gets up and he's like, actually, I'm Nick Cave. And they looked at him all weird and stuff. And he's like, oh, all right. And he left. So they walk out to the parking lot, and his kids are out there playing. And a guy shows up with like sunglasses and an earpiece. And he's like, are you Nick Cave? And he's like, yeah. He's like, well, somebody would like to meet you. So he's like, all right. So he gets taken to a back room, and they open the door. And Nicolas Cage is sitting there with a pork pie hat on. He's got a didgeridoo in his hand, and he jumps up. And I guess what did he shout? He shouts, whatever. He shouted something. He shouted probably.
Another great news bit.
He shouted, hey, only one letter separates us. It's a G. And then he ran up and shook his hand up and down.
Can I tell you my problem with your entire continuing saga of Nick Cage and Nick Cave?
Yes.
Being mistaken for each other. No one knows what Nick Cave looks like. Nobody's ever looked at Nick Cave and said, is that Nick Cage? It's not possible.
He kind of looks like my uncle.
Does your uncle look like Nicolas Cage?
I guess kind of, because Nick Cave and
No,
Nick Cage.
they don't.
Oh, yeah? Well, you know what? I got another Nick Cave and Nick Cage story.
You don't want to save it so we can keep the saga unwinding?
You know what? I will save it. That's a good idea. In fact, I might have. Oh, but anyway, the end of it. So they exchanged pleasantries after Nicolas Cage jumped up and shook his hand and stuff. And then when he was leaving, he goes back to the parking lot, Nick Cave does, and his kids are like, where'd you go, Dad? And he's like, I met a very famous actor. And I'm like, yeah, all right. And like right on cue, the back door to the place opens up, and the guy with the sunglasses holds the door open, and Nick Cage comes walking out with his didgeridoo, and the kid looks at the didgeridoo that he bought, and he's like, your didgeridoo is bigger than his, Dad.
Well, I can't wait to hear the next piece of this saga unfold hopefully next week when we do Tales from the Crypt Demon Night for Black History Month.
I've got so much more Nick Cage news, though. I don't know if I can. I might have to just remember this saga for later.
Yeah, I know you haven't watched it, Demon Night again.
Not since the fucking 1990 whatever.
I just watched it. I fucking love this movie. It is the 90th of 90s movies in a good way.
I have very few recollections of it, other than
Do you
the
not
Jada
remember
Pinkett
the
Smith.
cast?
Jada Pinkett Smith is there.
Jada Pinkett, not Smith yet, is in it.
Billy Zane is
Billy
the
Zane
bad
is
guy.
the bad guy. He's
Isn't
over the top and great.
William
Sadler's the real hero of the movie for 2 acts because he's hiding on purpose. The director's hiding who the final girl is.
Don't tell me.
And also, Lowell is in it.
Lowell is there?
Playing a
Thomas
douchebag.
Hayden Church? No.
But Pete, I haven't got CCH Pounder, who I'm a big fan of,
don't know
CCH
who that
Pounder.
is.
And Brenda Back, who I used to have the biggest crush on. And Charles Fleischer, Roger Rabbit himself. And Pete, Dick Miller.
Dick Miller's
as the
in
town
this?
drunk.
That's the only thing that was missing from Killer Klowns was Dick Miller. I was waiting and waiting, but there was no Dick Miller.
Well, we're getting Dick Miller next week in an incredible cast.
How many movies has Dick Miller been in? Like horror?
Oh, a ton of them, because he used to do Roger Corman stuff, low budget Roger Corman stuff, and then low budget Joe Dante stuff. So all of their movies.
One of these Giving Thanks
He will
episodes.
be.
It's
He
got to
will
be
be.
for Dick Miller.
The problem is that finding starring roles for Dick Miller is a little hard. Although I guess that was true with Toni Collette too, because 2 of the 3 were not starring roles.
Which 3 did we do for Toni Collette?
Hereditary,
Yep.
Fright Night,
Oh yeah, right.
Sixth Sense.
Right. She wasn't the star. I guess Hereditary really is the only one.
Yes, and she had executive produce that one to get it into.
That was really
anyway.
good.
It
She was
really
great
good.
in that.
She was unbelievable in that, and it's unbelievable. Go see 28 Days Later, The Bone Temple. It's way better than. It's not way better than the first one, but it fits to better than the first one does because the direction has stopped being over caffeinated.
Man, I don't know if I like Killer Klowns or Gremlins 2 better.
That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. You've said something ridiculous.
Killer Klowns has a lot going for it, man.
Don't talk about Lincoln's birthday.
That was really smart to give the Gremlins a voice too, because he had the one talking.
Yes. Tony Randall. That was Tony Randall's voice.
I don't know who that is.
He was the TV Odd Couple with Jack Klugman.
Klugman.
I can do references from the 60s and 70s all day long.
Klugman. I just know Jack Klugman because that's a great name.
You should know him from your favorite show, Space
Goes
Coast
Coast to Coast.
Yeah.
That's where I know him from. Zorak would shout that.
Modern audiences got to know him modern 30 years ago.
I just saw an episode of C Lab 2021
Yeah.
and then had a conversation about Space Ghost based on that.
Fell off the cliff after the old guy died.
Yeah. Only lasted another season.
I know, and it wasn't good.
Yes.
All
Good
right.
times.
Next week, Demon Night.
Apparently it's a good one.
I loved it. Billy Zane is like going for it in every possible scene. He has a chance to go for it. He's going for it.
Billy Zane is really fun.
He said, I saw a clip of him because these things happen in the feed after you start looking up Demon Night stuff on YouTube. After I watched it, I was looking up some reaction stuff or whatever to see what people say. And you saw an interview with him, and he's like, that was the most fun I ever had because there was like the director gave me complete freedom to do stuff, and like I had so much fun doing it. And then you watch the movie, like I've never seen anybody have more fun than Billy Zane.
All right, I'm excited
running around
now.
doing his accents and doing his dances and being weird.
I remember him being weird and crazy.
It's great. It holds up great.
What was he in? He was in like the Phantom. I'm trying to think of when this movie came out, what I would have known Billy Zane from. And other than the Phantom and maybe some.
This was 95, so this is like peak Phantom time, I think.
Yeah.
But Titanic was 2 years later. Mm-hmm. So this had to have gotten him Titanic. I refuse to believe otherwise.
I'm curious. I'll have to look that up before the next episode.
Twin Peaks was 91 to 92, and he was in season 2 of Twin Peaks, which is a big show. Mm-hmm. So that's only 3 years before this. So,
But he was enough.
this was his Billy Zane period.
Right. But I knew who he was when the movie came out. He wasn't a
me too.
nobody.
Me too.
So I'll just have to figure out what I knew him
I think
from.
the Phantom. It had to be the Phantom.
Right? I never
Saw the Phantom, but
Me
the Phantom
neither.
had advertising everywhere.
That was probably it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think you're going to enjoy it.
I'm excited.
But sometimes somebody says something slightly wrong, and you don't like the movie anymore. So I can't ever know for sure.
Are we talking about The Crow, where they put the time wrong?
Yeah, but you've had other things where you can't tell how you feel about a movie, and then your reason is like the dumbest little nothing thing.
Sometimes that's just a lazy script.
Like, I'm not sure how I feel about this movie because they said so and so is coming back in an hour, and it was only 5 minutes later. Like, I give up. I don't know what to do.
I don't know why.
The most media illiterate person I've ever met. So doing this podcast with you is always an adventure.
Nah, this was a good one. I remember it.
Killer Klowns is a good one too.
Killer Klowns is a great one.
It is.
You're
a good
right.
one.
Gremlins 2 is better. Past Pete didn't know what he was talking about.
I mean, this is a singular thing though, and I love that it exists in its own little pocket. I'm almost for years you're like, why can't we get a sequel to this? And I'd be so excited. I'm glad there isn't one now because this exists as its own weird little one-off thing. It's the only movie they ever directed and wrote. I love that it just is sitting there to be its weird little thing that holds up great. That's like,
oh, it 100% holds up. There's nothing that doesn't work.
There's no chance a continuation of it would be any good at all. And this one is good.
Yeah, that's
Except Debbie should fucking take those tits out.
It is the 80s.
And fuck Kyle.
Were there any black people or people of color in general? I don't
Yes, I did look this up, but it wouldn't pass the Minority Report because if I
No.
had to look it up, it's not good.
Nope.
One of the bikers was a person of color, but they did not have a name, nor did they have a line.
Okay.
And there is no butt shot, and there is no nudity. So it kind of failed at every.
The only thing it had was product placement. Because I saw those Coke cans or the Coke all over the place.
I'm sure we did this before, and I'm just doing it real quick. Am I the only person that's not bothered by product placement? Because I see Coke cans when I'm in the 80s, and all of the cans have my Coke in it. So why would I be upset if I see them on screen?
I don't have a problem with it. I'm just saying you don't see it as much anymore.
You know when I don't like it? When in Man of Steel, they're framing shots so it looks like he's walking out of a goddamn Sears.
I don't remember that.
There's when he's in the downtown, there's like, I don't know if it's Sears, but whatever. It didn't even work. What a waste of time. But they frame the shots so it looks like a goddamn ad. That I don't like. But if you got a Pepsi laying around, yeah, that makes sense. I got a Pepsi laying around too.
Right. But they used to do it so well in the 80s where it would just open up on here's the table full of product placement and then we pan out, which I'm okay with.
I'm fine with it. And I know like David Lynch was very anti-product placement because he thinks it breaks immersion. And in his movies, I'll 100% agree. If you throw a goddamn ad for Michelob Light, although he talks about Pabst Blue Ribbon and Blue Velvet, but if you throw an ad for Michelob Light in the middle of Lost Highway, it's not going to work. But if I'm watching people that are supposed to exist in the world and they're eating McDonald's, that makes sense to me. But don't, I guess, go all the way like Bye Bye Love, which is a movie about McDonald's.
Imagine though if there was like a product placement in a David Lynch and like just a can of Coke and it's just sitting there and you'd wonder, you're like, why? There's nothing else.
No, he said he'd rather die, which
I guess he did.
I guess he did. He meant it.
Except for PBR.
Yeah, they advertised Pabst Blue Ribbon. I mean, they were drinking maybe Michelob Light in that one. That's why it was in my head.
But they talk about PBR.
Oh.
There's a whole conversation.
Frank wants you to know that's a man's drink. Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Oh, I like David Lynch now.
Oh, he's the best. Well, we're going to get a lot of them soon.
I'm excited.
All right. Next week, Demon Knight. Going to be
yeah.
a fun one. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed preparing that one. I was a little worried that it would not hold up very well, or that I was having memories of being 15 watching something and then watching it at 46. It wouldn't be good, but I fucking loved it.
All right, awesome.
I loved it, and I loved looking into it a little deeper and seeing what the director's intentions were.
I don't even know who directed it.
Ernest Dickerson, a black man. That's why we're doing it on Black History Month, because he gives us what I think has to be in a major motion picture, not an independent film or a blaxploitation film from the 70s that were independent, the first person of color final girl in a mainstream movie.
Really?
Yes. It's why it's an important one for movie history, horror movie history, because it's far more commonplace now.
Oh yeah.
But it never happened in a mainstream movie before that.
That was mid-90s.
95, I know.
Fuck.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. So we'll get into all that next week.
Next
And it's and what he does with the character is fascinating. And why he does it is really, really fucking clever. And it's something that I never would have picked up on if I didn't listen to the interview. But then when he says it, interview with him, but when you see it, when you watch the movie, you go, that's 100% why this worked. And it was really, really fucking clever for him to have thought this through the way he did, and why the characters actually were really great. And I'm looking forward to talking about that next week because I really enjoyed it.
Sweet.
All right. See you next week for Tales of the Crypt Demon Knight. You got any Crypt Keeper puns to send us out?
No, I don't. But I want to so badly.
That's pretty good.
What does he say? He says something like, remember to slay the day.
That's not what he says.
What a ghoulish good time.
What's the pun there? What are you turning ghoulish from? He takes a word and he's like, it's a real frightmare.
Who wants some goulash for dinner?
Okay, that's good. Cut, print, no notes. See you next week.